And they're off and running right now. Be where your feet are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the hot window at the Portland Track Festival. Pacing for this race, set for a 157 on the wave light.
That's smoking.
We'll see what we could do because the pacer is trying to get to the front, but athletes want to roll here. So getting to the 200-meter mark in 28 seconds.
Sammy Watson hot on her heels, Honor Finley out on her outside shoulder, with Jess Hull following in close pursuit.
Watson and Finley, Sadie Henderson on the inside in the green. Trying to find that magic that catapulted her to a 158 best, but look at this, moving up down the straightaway. Hull showing the caliber of athlete she is, getting to the front of this race, not wanting to relinquish that pole position from here on out as she gets through in 58 seconds, looking extremely powerful. Watson in second place right now. Hull to the front. Hull driving down the back stretch currently.
Jess Hull just looking powerful, confident. Obviously expecting to race in that Grand Slam track meet in a couple of weekends, taking advantage of an opportunity to go down in distance for her at the 800, seeing what she can do, testing herself, giving every opportunity, knowing what those green lights represent, which is a 157, which would be dang near a personal best. This is all Jess Hull right now, with Sammy Watson giving chase and Honor Finley in third.
In a 127 through 600 meters, and we know the kind of strength that Jess Hull has as the 2,000-meter world record holder, and she's moving extremely quickly and extremely strong down this home stretch. She's a 350, 1,500-meter runner, seeing what she could do in the 800 here. 158 for the win for Jess Hull, the Australian. 158.69, closing in 60 seconds there. She is your champion this year and will receive the log round. And she is now a two-time champion in the 800 and the 5,000 here, something that has never been done before.
Talk about range. Talk about range.
You expect that kind of range from a 350, 1,500-meter athlete. Pleased with her performance in second place.
Do you expect that? That's what you expect now? Are you not entertained?
Oh, there it is. Fans are treated to something special there from Jess Hull. Sammy Watson coming in second, 2 flat 73. Kaylee Politza of Oklahoma State, 2 flat 94. Honor Finley, 201. So all the way down the list. And the track is hot, ladies and gentlemen. 158.6 for Jess Hull here as we get a glimpse of the replay down the final stretch through the tunnel of fans under the grandstand. And Jess Hull, look at the power. 158.6, breaking the tape. An outstanding effort there. And on the screen right now, we're looking at the running warehouse. Men's 800 meters.
We're not lying to ourselves. We know a lot of you have tuned in to watch this event tonight to see Donnie Brazos, the king of the oval,
and
the 2-lap champ.
Something that we have waited for a long time here. In 2019, in Doha on a hot night, when he won that 800 meters, going around Puerto Rican Wesley Vasquez, setting an American record then, 142.3. That lit a fire, and we thought he was going to be the Olympic champ the very next year. Instead, he competed in the Big Friendly Series here in Portland. And we saw him run 3:35, closing in 52. There's not much that this man can't do on the track. He's run 1:13 for 600 meters.
Yeah, well, I guess you expect that from an athlete like him, don't you?
But a lot has happened since he's been on the track. The 800-meter scene has changed. We have men like Josh Hoey today, who's run 142.4 and become the third fastest American of all time. Bryce Hoppel has reset the American record, running 141. In 2021, when Brazier won this Portland Track Festival race, the man next to him, Jesus Tonatiu Lopez, got second narrowly, the 143 runner. Behind them in third, the eventual Olympic champ, Emmanuel Carrier. But we'll see who can come on top this evening. John Rivera, 144 man in the race as well.
I'm not going to lie, Jeff. I did not know that we would ever see Donovan Brazier back on the track. He's such close friends with Craig Engels, and they do so many eccentric things together. I began to think that that was it for him, that he sort of hung it up, that he was entering the next stage of life. But lo and behold, what do we see? His first race on the track drops a 144. This guy is just oozing with talent, and now I feel like the expectation, the weight of expectation is lifted from his shoulders, and you've talked about how he has fundamentally changed the way that he once raced, winning from anywhere on the track. This used to be a type of race where Donovan Brazier would go out and hammer it from the front, but now you see him just tucked in the middle of the pack, running pretty well controlled.
And Handel Robon right now, as the pacer is leading. Robon is the first racer. The Olympians from St. Vincent and Grenadines, as they come through in about 51 seconds. Donovan Brazier tucked into the pack there. Robon, Watke, John Rivera. And then back to, that's Olivier Demule. And
Don't
then
count your pennies
Brazier.
just yet. Here comes Donovan Brazier storming down the backstretch.
This is what he can do. Doesn't everybody remember Donovan Brazier here? Coming to 600 meters in 1:17, and now in full stride. Handel Robon behind him. The meet record was set by Tyler Mulder in 2013, 144.7. What can Donovan Brazier run today? He ran 144.7 in his opener last week, and he's storming down the final straightaway to the excitement of the crowd.
142, 143.
And he'll break the tape, ladies and gentlemen. 143.81 for Donovan Brazier. A negative split, running a 51.07.
Golly, what can he not do? What can he not do? The move that he made, the acceleration from about 280 meters out, he made those other athletes who were hauling butt down the backstretch look like they were standing still, Jeff. What an incredible, incredible race. God, he's back.
Track world, let us reintroduce you to Donovan Brazier. The man is back, and everybody has to stand up a little taller right now and a little straighter, because that move that he just pulled down the back straight, you tell me somebody else in the world that can do that. There's a handful of guys less than that.
You have an infield full of world-class athletes. Everyone just stopped whatever they were doing to watch. That was a master class in 800-meter running.
We saw the first 200 went through in 26 seconds, and he was bunched in the back. He removed himself from that box and was able to escape. Run a 51.0 for the second lap on the close. Donovan Brazier. Handel Robon comes in second, 1:45.05. That makes him the third fastest man ever at the Portland Track Festival. And
Tyler
that's
Mulder, like the ghost of Riley Masters. your meet record is gone.
It stood for 12 years. But here down on the track, as we move quickly, because we have little downtime here at the Portland Track Festival in the hot window, we move quickly to the Shamrock Run women's 5,000 meter race in the hot window. And the times that we're going to want to look at here, 15:05 is the U.S. standard. 14:50 is the world standard for this race. You can see the list of competitors on the screen here. Notably, Courtney Frericks.
Yeah, remove those barriers. See what you got.
One of the GOATs in American steeplechasing. Laura Galvan here, 14:43, 5,000 meter runner. She ran the 10K last night, jumping back on the track. You can see her in the back. Anna Camp Bennett is on the line, and we'll see if she's pacing or racing this race. Regan Yee there, steeplechase Canadian Olympian. Jess McLean, your top American finisher in Boston, jumping on the line. And the crowd reacting to an interview with Jess Hull here.
I think the crowd is reacting to Donovan Brazier.
We just saw two amazing performances in the 800s here. There's Jess McLean on the line, refinding her strength in her running career. Last year, placing 4th in the marathon trials and 4th in the 10,000 meter trials.
Yeah, just being offered in a position on Team USA.
Yeah,
The
she'll be
Tokyo Marathon
competing
team.
in Tokyo later this year. Ella Donahue on the line there, 1450 athlete and alum of Grant High School on the east side here in Portland, so she's racing in front of her home crowd. Laura Galvan, Regan Yee, who we talked about previously, and Courtney Frericks. So,
Steeplers turn 5K runners, you know?
yeah, this is a fantastic field assembled here.
I'm still buzzing from those 800s. I'm buzzing. I can't get enough of this. And again, you got athletes that just ran PRs. They're looking to like get dapped up from Donovan Brazier on the infield right now. They're looking for maybe an autograph from one of the greatest to ever do this. Looking in awe at a man that just surpassed all expectations. Ladies being given final instructions. No funny stuff. Keep your hands and feet inside of the vehicle at all times.
That's right, 12 and a half laps on deck here in the Shamrock Run Women's 5,000 meters. Shamrock Run, an amazing event on the waterfront every year, one of the top 8Ks in the country. And here we go, Women's 5,000 meters, Portland Track Festival. We'll see who gets the crown list this year. Last year it was Sifan Hassan in 14:43, setting a meet record. And Anna Kemp-Bennett looks to be the pacer here, as Ella Donahue slides herself into second position. Diljit Taylor, coached athlete now, training out in Utah. And Kemp-Bennett also coached by Taylor. And on the outside in the red too, Caitlin Toohey making her return to the track. And the former NCAA 5,000 meter record holder, 15:03 best. So we have Kemp-Bennett, Donahue, Courtney Frericks, who has had a lot of success on this track. She is the meet record holder in the 3,000 meter steeplechase for this meet.
So it appears as though we have two different pace lights here, Jeff. The first front set of pace lights set for 1450. That would be the blue and the green. The white appears to be a 1505. That's the U.S. Championship standard for all those who are needed a reminder, because we talked about it a couple times today. If you haven't been tuned in with us for the last 4 or 5 hours, that's too bad. You missed some great stuff. If you just turned in for the hot window, welcome. We are in the hot window women's 5,000. Anna Kemp-Bennett inching her way up to that 1450 pace light.
Yeah, welcome. We love to have you here. And those two marks, 1450, the world standard, 1505, the U.S. standard. And the U.S. standard, as we've been saying all evening, for any unsponsored athletes that hit that, they'll have the opportunity to sign a contract with Bandit, have them pay their way to Eugene for the U.S. championships. So Vanessa Frazier in this heat as well, Saucony athlete. She's had a lot of success on this track in the past, trying to find that form that got her to 14:48. She was on the Bowerman Track Club, ran that Boston University indoors, then an American record. But Donahue up front, letting a gap form a little bit to Anna Kemp-Bennett.
You know what's interesting is I finished my run today, get back to the hotel, having a coffee in the lobby. The Stanford dorks, Jess McClain and Nessa Frazier, they're doing work. It's like they're doing homework on a college trip. No, we were having a good time. We were having a great chat. But Nessa, I was asking her, I was like, hey, we were watching the Stockholm Diamond League. I was like, what Diamond Leagues have you run in? And she's like, I've never run in a Diamond League, which is so shocking to me as an athlete who's broken, what's her PB in this, 14:48? Yeah, an astonishingly fast time. But she said, no, I ran that in her best year. She was on fire during those COVID races. And so, yeah, she said, even though she probably would have had the opportunity having had run that time, the Diamond Leagues, none of those races were happening. And so she missed that opportunity, which she says is a big miss for her in her career and hoping to get herself back into that kind of a position.
And through 3 flat here for Ella Donahue. That was a 72-second lap. So that's 3 flat for Donahue. Kemp-Bennett, the pacer, out front. There's a lot of firepower in that front part here. So Donahue, Courtney Frericks, Jess McClain, marathoners and 10K runner stepping down to the 5K once again. Earlier in her career, she was a 5,000 meter runner. But Caitlin Toohey on the outside, too, in that red uniform. Keep an eye on her as she moves her way up right next to Jess McLean.
Sort of like these earlier heats, I wish these women would just settle down a little bit, get in line, stop running the extra meters that you're running on the outside of lane 1. Every lap in the track is about 8 meters different if you go from the inside of lane 1 to the inside of lane 2. So if you find yourself running a half of a lane out, that's an extra 3 or 4 meters per lap. That adds up over 12 and a half laps of the track. So Caitlin Toohey looks very comfortable, mind you, but running extra distance every single lap.
Toohey now trying to find space for herself in front of Jess McLean, behind Courtney Frericks. And another 72.9 delivered to Ella Donahue there by the great pacing by Anna Camp-Bennett. And coming up here, we're getting to the 1,600-meter mark. And it looks like there's some anxious energy in the pack, as you were saying, with Toohey running side by side with Jess McLean. Everybody trying to get that position up there and maybe wanting the pace a little faster. They're going to have to do something about that. 450 through 1,600 meters.
Yeah, I feel like if the athletes were really concerned about a fast pace, that they would have been up on the heels of Anna Camp-Bennett early on in this race. But there really has been a lagging meter or two between Anna and the rest of this field. Ella Donahue coming through the first kilometer dead on 3 minutes. I was a math major. That's 15 flat pace. So if they're looking at something under 15 minutes, they're going to need to pick it up in the latter stages of this race.
And Camp-Bennett pulling to the outside as now you can hear the thunder from the stands with the stomping from the crowd, urging them on with that old Hayward energy that you could still hear here up in Portland. 73 seconds here for that lap. And that's still Camp-Bennett out to the front. She pulled wide and then she got right back in it. So Ella Donahue still protecting that front spot. And Courtney Frericks behind her. So the two athletes, both once Portland residents. Courtney Frericks with the Bowerman Track Club. Ella Donahue growing up here and then previously a member of the Union Athletics Club. Now both Swoosh TC, but both in Utah, I believe, separate coaches. And we're going to bring you right back to the action. We're going to stick here right now, but pretty soon we've got an interview with Donovan Brazier. So we've got Ella Donahue out front now and Courtney Frericks. And we're going to send it down for an interview on the couch with Donovan Brazier, but we'll keep you here as well.
As we prep for this interview, don't worry, we'll leave you with the pictures.
All right, we're sitting here with Donovan Brazier back in Portland, Oregon. We're going to wait for this interview so time's right. And now we're rolling with the interview. Donovan Brazier, welcome back to the track. Welcome back to Portland. What does it mean to run a season's best here in front of this home crowd for you?
Oh, it feels great. I love Oregon. I built a lot of my base here, so I'm just really grateful to be back and healthy.
There was a long time break there, but you've returned in class form, and it's exciting to watch not only as a fan but a friend. What does it mean to be able to have your head down, get to work, and then come out with wins back to back?
It means good. I definitely need confidence boosters, to say the least, because of how great the 800 meters gotten in America, but I'm just really trying to keep up with these guys right now.
You have all of Portland behind you, as we believe that you are one of the greatest of all time, and we appreciate you for what you've done for the sport, what you've done for the city of Portland, and there's a lot of young fans here that look up to you, so welcome back. We love you. Everybody, let's give Donovan a warm welcome back here in the Portland crowd. Welcome. He's going to sign his name here on the table, sign his name on the posters, and throw a T-shirt. So once again, if you were the loudest fan here for Donovan, here's your chance to get a T-shirt from him.
Okay, Ella Donahue still clicking off 64s here at the front of this race. Courtney Frericks sitting on her outside shoulder, and now Jess McLean on the inside. And we see this tight pack still forming behind them. So they're not strung out. Everybody is bunched together here. We've got Amaris Tanisma in here as well. On the outside, Under Armour athlete. And Lucy Jenks, Evelyn Kemboy sitting on the back of that pack with Reagan Yee, who is making a move to the outside. Everybody trying to get to the front of this pack, but not the tip-top front, which is being protected by Ella Donahue. But now Caitlin Toohey makes a move as we make our way to 3,200 meters here, 9:47 on the clock.
You know, this isn't exactly playing out the way in which we thought that it would. I thought that the athletes would be a little more aggressive of going after some of these paces, at least the 15:05. But, you know, we thought they were going to try and attack that 15-minute barrier. But what is ultimately happening is you have athletes like Regan, who's like really trying to find some of the form that she's had in the year of 2024. Amaris Tanisma, who is trying to establish herself as one of the better American middle distance runners. She ran 15:15, if I'm not mistaken, at the Track Fest down in LA a few weeks ago. That was a big PR for her. But this is a great opportunity to mix it up with some of the best in the U.S., some of the best in the world, and like this pace is perfect for her. So that's, you know, while it may not be exactly what we thought was going to happen, this is an incredible opportunity for some of these athletes.
And Toohey's stringing it out right now, 72 seconds, ratcheting down the pace. So moving from 74s to 72s. She doesn't want to let this sit any longer. Regan Yee going with her. Ella Donahue still sitting third in the pack with Courtney Frericks. And all the major players are there. So Toohey doing what she can to make this a real strength effort here in this electric forest atmosphere. And Toohey now stringing it out.
That move got rid of Evelyn Kemboy, who was hanging onto the back of that pack. Regan Yee now the only one to really make a strong effort of trying to keep up with Caitlin Toohey as they're coming up on 3 laps to go. Great to see Caitlin running with this amount of confidence, this amount of strength, taking it to this field right now where she has 4 or 5 meters on a pack of about 7.
And the former NC State Wolfpack athlete, Caitlin Toohey, now taking charge of this race. Inside 3 laps to go. And that was a 71-second lap for Toohey as she's got the gap, and you could see it right now. So who's going to try and get back to her out of that pack behind her? This is Toohey's race now as that gap keeps growing. And she's feeling it right now as she's chasing that finish line and finding her old form here. Looking so strong, working her way down the back straightaway, around the curve.
You know, Caitlin Toohey, I think, is a rare example of an athlete who was so incredibly dominant in high school, went on to continue that dominance in college, and now is showing herself to be the class of this field right here, Jeff. She's put 15, 20 meters on a group of very celebrated 5,000-meter runners and steeplechasers. Olympic medalists are in that group behind her, and she has just made mincemeat of them.
So Courtney Frericks leading that pack, the Olympic steeplechase medalist. And Caitlin Toohey inside 2 laps to go. Up front, driving the pace, a 70-second lap. So she went 72, 71, 70, ratcheting down the pace, growing that gap. Frericks pushing a 73-second lap, leading that second pack. So what's going to happen? Who's going to make a move in that second pack? Because we know they're fighting for that second, third place position. But first place right now going away is Caitlin Toohey, who's having a stellar performance this evening.
Caitlin Toohey's listed personal best 15:03. Those white lights in front of her are 15:05. If she can continue on this 70-second clip, she will run, not only win this race, but set a personal best in the process. The group behind her, I think that they've just left way too much ground to cover over the final lap of this race. But Caitlin Toohey showing no signs of slowing down.
70-second pace too. She's running 4:40, 1,600 meter pace here. So we'll see what it is when she comes up to the bell lap, and she's reaching it right now. Caitlin Toohey leading this race, 13:55 on the clock. And that was a 69. So taking 1 second off each lap, Caitlin Toohey, Donahue back to the front, is now pushing this pace clock to 70. And we know that Donahue can close like crazy too. But she's got Katie Izzo on her heels, the Adidas athlete in the red kit. So Caitlin Toohey charging out front, then Ella Donahue, and then Katie Izzo.
Caitlin Toohey smack dab in the middle of that 15:05 pace light. What does she have over the final 200? She's gone big to the arms, sprinting with all of her might. She has now eclipsed the pace lights. What does she have left of the final 150 meters?
Around the bend in the electric forest, here comes Caitlin Toohey. Rolling around onto the home straightaway, down Paradise Alley. This race is all hers and looking incredibly strong, leading the pack. Ella Donahue in second, Katie Izzo fighting for that spot. But here comes Caitlin Toohey. The clock hits 15 minutes, 15:03, and she'll be there 15:04, it looks like, for the victory. Donahue takes second, Izzo third. 15:04.07 for Caitlin Toohey, victorious tonight at the Portland Track Festival. Donahue 15:08. So Toohey, 68 seconds. Taking a look at her final splits, she went 72, 71, 70, 69, 68. Incredible pacing there.
What a run from Caitlin Toohey. Hats off to her. Great to see her back running so strongly. Big PR, I have to say it, for Mars Tenisma, going from a 15:15 personal best down to just under 15:12 in that environment. Regan Yee showing great form in 15:10, and here's Caitlin Toohey powering down the last 50 meters, grimacing, gritting her teeth, giving it absolutely everything, emptying the tank, and being rewarded with the victory.
The fans roaring her on to the finish, too. Lucy Jenks coming up with a great result, 15:09 for her in fourth place. Regan Yee, 15:10. Jess McLean coming back to the track after Boston, 15:12. And now we have to take an immediate transition here to get to the men's 5,000 meters. This, every single year, is called the Paul Banta Memorial Men's 5,000 meters. And it's named after the longtime meet director for the Oregon Track Classic. That was the father, we can say it because it's Father's Day, the father of this meet, the Portland Track Festival. That meet, Oregon Track Classic, ceased to exist in 2005, and 3 years later the Portland Track Festival started, and this is now its 17th year, thanks to the great work of Paul Banta and Craig Rice, who started this meet after him. You can see on the line here a great assembly of athletes. Justin Knight, 12:51 man, trying to find that form again on the track. Eamon Kemboy, 2 years ago, we saw him take down Cole Hawker in the Hot Window 1500 here at the Portland Track Festival. We've got Drew Hunter on the line. In the New Balance kit there, high schooler Tavon Kitchen. So coming off a 7:58 3K performance at the Oregon State Championships. But a lot of great athletes in this field. And the pacing for this race set for 13 flat at the front light and 13:10 for the second. Austin Dahlquist, the pacer. James Mawara in this field, Gonzaga athlete. Dan Michalski up front, steeplechaser, raced last night. And Kieran Tuntavate, so that is the field out there. So Mawara wearing that Brooks kit down on the track, the neon up there. And he's a 13:22 athlete. Kieran Tuntavate behind him, representing Thailand. Former Bowerman Track Club athlete, so he's familiar with Portland. We've got Justin Knight, Thomas Ratcliffe in the pack.
So there was intended to be a couple of different pace lights set for this race, with the front pace light being 13 minutes, the second pace light being 13:10. Our pacer is only listed as being at 13:10. We have Dan Mikulski and Austin Dahlquist, both of them pacers out front. Those green pace lights will give you a pace check here at 600 meters. They're coming through in about 1:35, 95 seconds. So that's roughly 63 pace. That looks like to be about 13:10.
13:10, the meet record here, 13:18 set last year by Dylan Jacobs. In the field, we have a previous champion from 2 years ago, Olin Hacker, the Hoka athlete, who ran 13:19 to win this meet in 2023. So he's claimed a log round before. And we'll see if he can get back on the couch. But strung out in the field. Kemboy there in the purple on the outside.
You know who we haven't really talked about much here? Kenneth Rooks.
Kenneth Rooks.
Kung Fu Kenny, of a different type.
Yeah, I think that nickname's already taken.
Whatever. Hey, there can be many Kung Fu Kennys in this world. Kenneth Rooks, obvious Olympic silver medalist in the steeplechase. Here trying to lower his personal best in the 5,000. We just saw Courtney Frericks take a swing in the women's race. But Kenneth Rooks looks very much up to the task, sitting right there on the shoulder of Olin Hacker and Eamon Kemboy. A lot of those heavy hitters in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, Rooks witnessed last night the 8:13 performance by Isaac Updike, taking the log round and setting the meet record here. Portland Track Festival. Rooks last year was the champion here at the Portland Track Festival in the steeplechase, and then went on to win silver medal in the Paris Olympic Games.
In one of the more inspired performances I've ever seen, Jeff.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Just the grit and determination and just desire shown by Kenneth Rooks over the final 400 meters there was, shook me to my core.
In this race as well, hanging onto the back of this pack, is Suguru Osako, the Japanese great. He's got a 13:08 best and a 2:05 marathon to his name.
Suguru Osako won $1 million for that 2:05.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It was some business or the government in Japan put a prime out there. We got
the
see
Japanese
the Japanese
fans cheering him on right now with flags in the stands. World Championships will be in Tokyo this year.
Back to my very important story about Suguru Osako, that if he broke the Japanese national record at the Tokyo Marathon, they put a prime out there of $1 million, and he did just that.
He's a man of his word.
I'm going to go run that.
So out here, Dan Mikulski setting a great pace still as the field strung out behind him, clicking off 64-second laps. And that's what looks like the pack wants right now, as it is a bit strung out in front of him, but bunched slightly towards the back. So Mawara out front, 13:22 man.
Yeah, it's 4:16 through a mile. I would have expected more from this field. Again, we are more concerned with racing here at the Portland Track Fest, less concerned with times. But 4:16 is that's 13:20 pace. That's easy days for a lot of the guys in this field.
So we'll see what they can do, because there is a lot of firepower in this pack.
Drew Hunter is there, Casey Knievelbard, Olin Hacker. A lot of these athletes coming down from altitude for this event.
And that was a 65 flat on that lap, as it looks like gaps starting to form at the front. So we'll see what these men want to do. As Mawara, coached by Pat Tyson, leads in that neon singlet. And we're going to be right back. We're going to leave you with the picture on the screen. We'll talk to you in a minute.
Every runner's journey is different. No matter where you start or how far you go, you need gear you can rely on. It can turn a quiet road into your escape, where every step clears your mind. On rugged terrain, it keeps you steady, mapping your path even when the trail fades. It moves with you, fluid and effortless, syncing with your pace through every stride and every lap. Wherever your run takes you, Running Warehouse has the gear to get you there.
And the fans are rumbling in the stands as these athletes run by the grandstand. That's still Mawara in the neon, the first racer in this race, and Tuntavate behind him, the Nike athlete representing Thailand. Eamon Kemboy who knows what it takes to win at this meet. On the outside in the orange Tracksmith kit, that's Sam Parsons, representing Germany. He's a 13-12 athlete.
Also, we haven't lost anybody in this race. We've talked about Seguro Sacco sort of taking up the back of the field, but we have not dropped anybody with these 64, 65s. Smack dab in the middle of this field is none other than Tavon Kitchen. Tavon Kitchen, who's sitting right on the heels of former high school superstar standout Drew Hunter. So, I mean, in great company there, on the shoulder of an Olympic silver medalist. Thank you for the opportunity, Jeff.
This is once a runner territory here, as Tavon Kitchen, the 758 athlete, crater athlete, jumps into the deep end in this race with this kind of competition. But now Parsons takes the lead and kicks it down a notch to 63.9. So Parsons had enough of those 64s, 65s, and now they're really getting things moving here in the 5,000 meters.
Yeah, this has just gone from a pretty comfortable pace for these guys to the gas is on. Young Parsoni going to the front. You can just tell that he has changed the momentum of this field. These guys are now all strung out. They were running about two abreast there for a couple of laps. Everyone's starting to look around, look at each other, and right now Sam Parsons has put the pedal down.
And there are some real kickers in this race too. We know Olin Hacker can close like crazy. And Kenneth Rooks, we've seen what he can do in the steeplechase, hasn't been able to do it quite yet in the 5,000 meters. Eamon Kemboy, a very strong athlete, and if Justin Knight can stay in touch, he's run 12:51, so you can never count him out.
All right, so lap to lap for Parsons there was 63.2 coming through 3,000 meters and 8:04 high. So again, these are fairly unimpressive times for a lot of the guys in this field, but you can obviously see that the tempo has been turned up.
And now the race is really starting here through 3,000 meters, 2K left. And Parsons driving the pace, hitting 63s. So it's what they wanted from the beginning. And Parsons is the one who's going to deliver it to him, but everybody's still in touch. It's strung out now, but there are no gaps up there through the first dozen athletes in the field as they swing around the curve. Tuntavate there in second place still. Kemboy moved his way up in front of Justin Knight now, and you can see Drew Hunter on the outside. The man's been running on the roads a little bit, boulder to boulder. Or boulder, excuse me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry
thank
to
you. A little
disgrace that
respect.
race.
A little respect.
But he's also dabbled in the 10,000 meters, success there. A fourth place finish in the trials last year, and now back to the 5,000.
Back to 65s. I thought that they would have. I didn't see it slow that much, but you know what has shocked me more than anything in this is that little injection of pace has chewed up and spit out Olympic silver medalist Kenneth Rooks. It is absolutely thrown him off the back of this pack, and again, that is surprising to me, but this again is another example of how the steeplechase and the athletes who excel at it are extremely unique individuals.
So Hunter was behind Kemboy there, clipped him a little bit. There were some words exchanged as he made his way to the front.
I think he must have just said Happy Father's Day.
This is Father's Day for Drew Hunter, a father of two here, and he's leading this race. His family in the stands and on the infield. Olin Hacker behind him. And so Drew Hunter driving the train. Olin Hacker, Kemboy into third position now as everybody tries to get their spot for the kick with 3 laps remaining. See who can hoist the log round here in the electric forest. And the fans are roaring them on. Hunter never taken a win before at the Portland Track Festival. He's been close. He's been second the year that Clayton Murphy won the 1500. He came second place to him.
The fans showing their respect and admiration for high school athlete Tavon Kitchen as he passed behind. And again, that injection of pace, sort of if he was on the ropes, it showed. This lead pack now. Again, every lap we're starting to lose 1 or 2 athletes. We're down to about 9 or 10 in the front here in the final kilometer.
Hunter stretching it out. Clicked off another 63. Olin Hacker behind him. And the fans are rumbling beneath us as they come by the home straightaway. Hunter, Hacker, Kemboy.
Watch out for Casey Knievelbard. He's a 1,500 5K guy, so he's got speed. He can close well. He can change pace with the best of them, and he's now put himself into 6th place ahead of Justin Knight.
Inside 2 laps to go, lurking on the outside, coming up into 3rd position, Kemboy, a 13:08 man over 5,000 meters, and 3:34 memorably here 2 years ago, defeating Cole Hawker, and he takes the front, storms to the front. Olin Hacker goes around Drew Hunter, trying to stay attached, but Kemboy now making his bid for the front with 600 meters to go. And we'll see if he can hold it for the Puma Elite Racing Team. Kemboy, brow furrowed, looking down the home straightaway. And here he comes. You can see Thomas Radcliffe there in 4th place position. Parsons still there.
Kemboy focused on exactly trying to execute right now. It's Kemboy, Hacker, Hunter, Radcliffe, Parsons.
Bell lap 12:17.
Kicks it into another gear, does Kemboy, starting to inch away from this field. Drew Hunter wanting to get around Olin Hacker, running the extra yards around the turn. Radcliffe also doing the same. It seems as though Hacker is out of it, but you can never count him out with his blistering final kick. Hunter closing the gap now on Kemboy. Has Kemboy gone too soon? Has father Drew Hunter given himself an opportunity to get the best gift of all on this day, which is a win at the Portland Track Festival? Kemboy in the front with 200 to go, with Hunter giving chase.
Kemboy looking smooth around the bend, but Drew Hunter is closing down on him with every step, gritting his teeth with that dad strength. Let's see what he could do. Father's Day here in Portland, and it's Kemboy, and it's Hunter. Hunter and Kemboy down the final stretch. It's a nail biter. Who's going to take it? We've got Kemboy, Drew Hunter, a little bit of daylight. Hunter moves to the front, looks over it. He's got it. 13:14 on the clock. Drew Hunter is your champion here at the Portland Track Festival. 13:14.95 meet record in the Paul Banta Memorial 5,000 meters. And Banta's looking down, smiling on the stadium right now, watching that. And a perfect one for Father's Day.
That was a bare-knuckle brawl of a 5K.
Woo!
The gloves were off over the final lap. Kemboy, I thought he had it. The move he made was so definitive. And here comes Tavon Kitchen coming in, trying to go under 14 minutes.
Tavon Kitchen coming in here, 13:56 on the clock, 57:58, and he'll just get under, about 13:59, it looks like. So, ducks under 14 for the high school athlete there. Crater great. But Hunter, and here we are, another view of the stretch battle. And we got Thomas Radcliffe coming in 3rd there, but Kemboy, does he have it? Drew Hunter, he's been moving up in distance, but able to find that 1,500-meter leg speed because strength is speed, Will. And he closed in 56 seconds over that final 400 meters, a 1:56 clocking final 800.
Give me that banner. That's mine. Wow.
That was an exciting race.
That was an exciting race. I mean, it went from they were jogging out there to closing and running a 13:14, but that's what you can do when you have these immensely fast final 1 or 2 laps. 56 and 60 for the final 800 for Drew Hunter, 1:56.
And for a man throughout his career who has placed so highly here at the Portland Track Festival, 2nd in the 1,500 years ago, has come back to finally claim victory and be able to throw that log round in his trophy case for the kids to see on Father's Day.
Unbelievable. Bravo, Drew Hunter. Hats off to you, sir. Happy Father's Day.
And here we are in the final events of the evening. Assembled on the track, this is the Bandit Running Women's 1,500-meter race. Simone Plord, the Canadian 404 athlete, on the line. And moving down the line, there's a number of who's who athletes here. Christina Aragon, 404 athlete in the field. Flamina Asakal, the on athlete. Katie Camarena there wearing the Saucony kit. She ran at Portland State University, and this is her first time in the hot window, Portland Track Festival. And Lorena Rangel Batres there. Jen Randall from from Pacific Athletics Club. Sadie Sargent has been having a great season so far. Good race down in Los Angeles. Gracie Hyde in the pink uniform. She won the steeple last night, 9:24.6, and she's coming back here to compete in this 1,500 meters. And in this race as well, Portland's own Sinclair Johnson. And the fans have turned out to watch her tonight and cheer her on. 6th fastest American of all time. She placed 4th in that amazing race in the Olympic trials last year to run 3:56. Just an absurd time, 1,500 meters these days.
Yeah, 3:56 to not make the team. Unbelievable.
And she'll try to make the Tokyo World Championships team later this year. But there's Aragon, Plord, and there's Sinclair Johnson on the inside wearing the number 1. So she's also never taken a win here at the Portland Track Festival. Far and away the top seed as we look at what the fans think heading into this race.
Without a doubt, Jeff, we are in a golden era of American middle distance running. I think that it's safe to say that. And I don't say that because of the times the athletes are running, because that'll get me in trouble with the spike and shoe purists and all the like. But with the happenstance of major victories on the global stage, whether that's Continental Tour Gold Meets, Diamond Leagues, Olympics, World Championships, the medals that we are bringing home and the performances that we're putting up on a week in and week out basis are insane.
It's a new era in track racing. And times to think about: 4:06 flat, the U.S. standard here, 4:01.5, the world standard, as the women step to the line. And it looks like the wave light will be set for 4:04, but we'll see what the athletes have to say about that as Sinclair Johnson tries to get to the front on the inside, and the Rabbit moves to get in front of her. Far and away the favorite in the field, Johnson, in the fan poll.
Wow, we haven't seen numbers like that. Hey,
They really jumped, didn't they?
If you're putting in votes for Sinclair, chuck a buck into the sweeten the pot. If every one of you put in $1, that's 1,400 more bucks into the pot for these athletes.
There you go.
Show them your love. It's just a buck.
And there's the purse right there. A little bit of what the athletes are racing for in this bronze level competition as they run by the grandstand for the first time. Sinclair Johnson in front, Simone Plord, the Canadian athlete, training with Diljit Taylor. And gained some space at the front for herself. Sinclair Johnson rolls through 400 meters in about 65 seconds. So
right on pace, right on schedule.
A good pace.
That train is never late.
And looking incredibly smooth, too. 2 years ago, we saw Sinclair Johnson jump on the track coming back from injury and run 4 flat here in Portland at the Stumptown Twilight. So she's got the talent. You never know what she can do. But what we might have in store tonight, because the athletes are all spread out in touch behind her, Jayla Hancock Cameron of Australia in the blue kit, sitting behind Simone Plord. And behind her, Olivia Boone. And now that's Katie Camarena on the outside, trying to stay in touch with the field in the orange in the back. But this is Sinclair Johnson in the pole position, tucked in behind the Rabbit. 2 laps to go, 1,500 meters.
65.3 on that lap for Sinclair. Simone, Riley Chamberlain running 65.4. These are all roughly the exact same time. The pacemaker doing a phenomenal job, executing to perfection. And now the duty is up to Sinclair. Sinclair is in the front, driving the train. Simone Plord hot on her heels. Riley Chamberlain in the all blue, the BYU athlete, sitting in third.
So what does Sinclair Johnson want to do here? She's got Simone Plord on her heels, and Johnson around the bend as the entire pack rolls on behind her. It's Johnson without daylight currently, but she's leading this pack. The Portland local in front of her people here. She lives and trains in this city. It's special for the fans to see her compete here. This is a real fan base developing. They're behind her, and they would love to see her take a win here in the Forest this evening. We'll see if she could do so inside a lap to go.
3 are getting away here with it being Sinclair, Johnson, Plord, and Riley Chamberlain looking fantastic
The
in
BYU
third.
athlete in third. So Johnson now making a move down the backstretch. This is her bid for the win as she tries to uncouple herself from Simone Plord.
We're getting daylight between Sinclair and Plord. About 5 meters at this point. Riley Chamberlain looking to go around Plord on the outside, but those 3 are basically clear from the rest of the field. Sinclair Johnson looking to take her first victory here at the Portland Track Festival in front of her home crowd, in front of her friends, and they're bring her home, Jeff.
Emptying the tank now. Riley Chamberlain makes a move around Simone Plord, but this is all Sinclair Johnson down the straightaway, and we'll see what she can deliver as the clock says something very fast on it. 4:01 for the win for Sinclair Johnson. 4:01.46 with a 61-second close for Sinclair Johnson. That came largely on that final 300 meters, delivering a win for the Portland crowd here. Simone Plord with a 4:03.8 personal best, and Riley Chamberlain 4:03.9, a huge personal best for Chamberlain, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is a 4:08 athlete coming into the day. And we'll double check that. But Grace Featherston, the steeplechaser, a 4:06 to her name after placing second yesterday, and there Johnson is hoisting the log round. And that's hers to keep. But down the line,
Put that in the trophy case.
you have to. That is, I mean, who gets a log round? There's 10 athletes a year.
Only champions. Only champions do.
In the hot window that get one of those, exactly. Sinclair Johnson closing it down in a 61-second final circuit for 4:01.46. And here we see the replay of the fans roaring her on to the finish, putting their thunder sticks together. Sinclair Johnson, and her first victory at the Portland Track Festival. And what a race.
We've got Drew Hunter addressing the crowd with an interview from Mr. Ribich, explaining the importance of performing in front of people you love dearly. He said his brother was here, his parents are here, his wife is here, his kids are here. It's Father's Day.
Man, that's
What a time to perform.
every single one of these races has been an incredible story unfolding here on the track. And we've just been treated to something special every single time. And we're coming to the end of the night. This is
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. We got so many races left. There's so many races.
so many start lines ahead. But only one left this evening as the Bandit Running men's 1,500 meters sits between us and the party. The after party and the after party.
Because after the party, it's the after party.
But here we go. Look at this.
You know who's pumped up about that women's 1,500? Craig Nowak.
Absolutely.
He's pumped.
Yeah.
The pace pirate.
And he's jumping to pace out here for this Bandit Running men's 1,500 meters. And the fans are going crazy right now because Drew Hunter is summoning all the strength he has to throw a T-shirt into the crowd.
Not much of a thrower. More of a runner.
I mean, the man just closed in 56 and to run 13:14. So
Yeah, he used all of his arm strength in that 56.
forgive him.
Forgiven. Just, the people at home, it wasn't on the screen, so wanted to paint a picture.
Absolutely. And here we get the start list of the men's 1,500 meters. Kieran Lum in there, 3:33 man. He's in shape. He won a 1,500 at the Brooks PR last week. And he always puts together a good performance. Last year, he was winning down the straightaway before Cooper Tier wove through traffic and was able to claim the victory. Sam Prakel, a staple here at the Portland Track Festival. Both Andy Powell coached athletes. Speaking of Andy Powell, Owen Powell is in this race, a 3:56 indoor miler, high school athlete.
We might see something special here, Jeff.
He recently ran a 146.6 in the 800 last week. And given the range that he has, 830, low 830s in the 2 mile, anything's possible. We saw what Hobbs Kessler could do 4 years ago here as a high schooler, running 334. Every man in this race has run 336 or faster. That's Alex Stitt on the screen, Oklahoma State athlete, 336 man. And Wes Porter in this race as well. He won Heat 2 last year in 335, so this year he gets into the top heat.
Josh Thompson trying to find some form this year. 334 man, represented Team USA at the World Championships, national champion.
And Derek Johnson coming back into this race after racing the steeplechase last night. We've seen that double being done multiple times.
Done very well just moments ago.
Absolutely. Featherston Ha with a huge PR.
There's got to be something about going from a steeple to a 1500 that it just feels easy. Like, I know the 1500 is hard. I know that. But the steeplechase, it borders on impossible. When your legs start to get heavy, having to go over those hurdles, having to jump into the water pit, like, what an ask for an athlete. And then just be like, oh, no, it's 3 3/4 laps. No hurdles. It was easy.
Also in this race, we cannot neglect to say there are 2 high school athletes. Josiah Tostenson, the Crater athlete, who's run 357 for the mile, is also in this race. So we have a border clash with Washington's Owen Powell and Oregon's Josiah Tostenson, his teammate Tavon Kitchen in the 5,000 meters earlier this evening. But he'll contend with the best that we have here in the men's 1500 top section, Portland Track Festival, a bronze level competition. These high school guys are being thrown into deep water right now.
Just not a problem. These kids all have ice in their veins. They just don't care.
And this is a storied event here. We've seen ever since 2019, this race has been won in 335 or faster. But before that, in 2015, most memorably likely is Evan Jager's 332.9 performance, which was at that time the American soil record by an American.
Ferenc Kovacs there, we just saw wearing the Harvard jersey. On Friday, finished 3rd in the NCAA championship. That was one of the most outlandish 1500 finishes I've ever seen.
A 347, what, there were?
347, 347, 347, 347, 347, 347. I don't know how many they were. There was just one guy that ran 348 basically flat. Unbelievable. They were 7 wide on the home stretch. Ethan Strand running about the silliest race of anyone on the track. In about last place with 100 meters to go, not where you want to be.
Here also in this race, we have Elliott Cook, the Oregon athlete, now wearing a Nike kit. He's a 333 man.
Shocker.
And a great 800-meter athlete as well. So we'll see what he can do. Fawad
I just never knew that was a pipeline, you know?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, once you get it, then you can make the connection.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. But here we go. Men called to the line. Bandit running men's 1,500 meters to cap off the evening here at the Portland Track Festival. Craig Nowak's got to get out fast to get in front of the crew because they want to roll here. And he just watched his fiancée, Sinclair Johnson, run a 4:01 for the 1,500 meters and take the victory. But a little pushing and shoving as the men trying to get position.
Yeah, you got 14 guys. Everyone's trying to be in the same exact place at the same exact time. So Craig's done a good job to get himself out of the fray, out into the front, slowing down ever so slightly to let these athletes catch up. Then I'm sure he'll put the gas back down.
And that is Kieran Lum in the top position behind Nowak, who the fans think will take this. But they come through in about 43 seconds. And the wave light for this race set at 3:35. So that is about 57 for Nowak through the quarter. And Lum is going with him, as he has always done here at the Portland Track Festival. Whenever the pace has lagged, Lum has been the guy to pick it up and push it. But Fawad Masoudi sitting behind Lum. And then Sam Prakel and Lucas Bonds. Sam Ellis tucked into the pack as well.
Gives these athletes a lot of confidence to have a pacer like Craig Nowak. Domestically, Craig has done an incredible job. Paced most of the fast miles and 1500s here in North America. So all the confidence in the world that Craig Nowak is going to do a smashing job, and he's doing just that right now, coming through with 2 laps to go in 140. That was a 57.3, so 57 dead for the first 400, 57.3 on the second. Craig is doing an incredible job. Kieran following closely on his heels. Masaudi right behind him. Prakel then running in 4th position right now, but the third of the finishers. Prakel, let's see if he can do something crazy today. We're looking for some fireworks from Sam Prakel. I've been wanting a big breakout from him for the last couple of seasons.
And the Pace Pirate pulls out, having pulled the guys through in 155 through 800 meters for Lum, and now Lum is at the front. And it's Lum, Masaudi, Sam Prakel, and Lucas Bonds in the green singlet. So Lum, let's see if he can keep the pace hot here. He's on the lights at 3:35 pace. You could see on the side pulling out in the speed suit, in the black speed suit, is Owen Powell, and he's next to Josiah Tostenson back there. But now, with a lap to go, 2:39 on the clock, Lum at the front, and Masaudi, and then Prakel, all strung out still. Nobody's making a move yet. And 1,200 meters hit in 2:52. But now the Harvard athlete coming into the picture. Going wide, there's Masaudi.
Kovacs from Harvard on the outside. Lum in second still. Masaudi going into the front. Lum in second. Kovacs in third. Prakel in fourth. 150 meters to go. What do these athletes have left? Masaudi is starting to pull away from this field.
And the Pokes coming down the stretch for Oklahoma State. Stillwater going crazy right now. We're seeing what he can do. It's Masaudi, and it's his race to lose as he's got a good gap coming down the stretch. And he'll come to the finish line in 3:33, maybe 3:34. And a blanket finish behind him. 3:33.93 for Fawad Masaudi. And Kovacs will come up for second, 3:34.7. Prakel, 3:35.2. Sam Ellis, 3:35.4. And as they all came across the line, it was impossible to see how they finished. But 3:35s across the board. Plant, Porter, Stitt. And Masaudi with that 3:33.9. Elliott Cook coming in, 3:36.0. Thompson as the results populate. And Lum doing the lion's share of the work, 3:36. Here on the screen.
Owen Powell, 3:36.
And Josiah Tostenson, both high school athletes, 3:36.
Jeez Louise.
3:36.49 and 3:36.85. So neck and neck. We heard from Tostenson's coach heading into tonight that he did a 800-meter time trial earlier this week in 1:47, following seeing Owen Powell's 1:46.
Why not?
And he said, I want to get in the top heat too. And he delivered. But here we got Masaudi coming down the straightaway. He's your champion tonight. 3:33.9, a personal best for him.
What a different race experience this must have been for Ferenc Kovacs there, the Harvard athlete, running 3:47 down in Eugene but a few days ago to come back up here and run a massive personal best, 3:34.79. I think that's 6 seconds off his personal best. Masaudi taking a baby PB, going from 3:34.3 down to 3:33.9. A baby PB for Sam Prakel, a baby PB for Sam Ellis. But man, what a finish. What a remarkable race.
Holy smokes. So the hot window delivered once again, as it always does year to year. Amazing finishes here. Fawad Masaudi closing it out with a 3:33.93 after Sinclair Johnson's 4:01. And before we keep going with you and drone on and on, we're going to send it down to the couch with an interview with Sinclair Johnson.
If you're trying to get a t-shirt here, stick around, as Sinclair Johnson and Fawad will be throwing out t-shirts after the interviews. Sinclair Johnson, you're living here in Portland, Oregon. This is a home race for you. first race of the year, outdoor with a win. What does it mean to get a win in front of your home crowd?
Oh, I love it. I think the energy of the crowd definitely carried me the last 800, and just excited to be out here. I think Portland is such a good running community city, and yeah, it was a good night for it too.
That's awesome. And now there's been some coaches changes too, but we're still seeing progression, still seeing wins. What does it mean to be able to stay true to what you're training and looking forward to ahead of the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I think I'm always my biggest advocate, and I'm gonna make a change when I feel like I need one. So definitely glad I take a big risk going off my own and being coached by my fiance. So I'm glad to see it's paying off so far.
Well, you two both are local legends here at the Portland Track Festival, so congratulations on the win. We'll sign the table, sign the poster. Anything else you want to say to sign off the Portland Track Festival?
I just want to say go Pokes, because I'm a Poke, 1,500 Fuad Masadi is a Poke, so yeah, go Pokes.
It's a sweep for Oklahoma State University here. And Sinclair Johnson will be able to sign the table, throw a t-shirt. So if you want a t-shirt here from Sinclair, go ahead and be loud and be proud, as she is living here in Portland, Oregon, a local, and excited to be able to give back not only a win but a t-shirt here to the local crowd. If you want to be loud and proud, and we're good. And then a personal best here for Wad here in the men's 1,500 meters, sponsored by Bandit. You came out here, you saw a fellow Poke here win the women's 1,500 meters. What did it mean to come out here and win this race in dominant fashion?
I mean, thanks for having us here. I mean, I had no expectation coming to Portland after doing a 5K on Friday, so my legs were heavy, and I just came here and tried to kind of win the race. I was now looking at the time, and it was pretty good. I'm so happy. I got a PB and getting closer to the world standard.
Absolutely getting closer. Does that mean you're going to be racing a few more times? We might be seeing a few more races here coming up in the next weeks?
Yes, I'm going to go back and sit with my coach and get like 2 or 3 weeks more of training, and then run again this summer.
All right, well, looking forward to cheering you on the circuit. Portland Track is behind you. Congratulations on the win. Make the signatures, and we'll throw out this t-shirt for you.
And fans have already emptied the stadium here, getting to their cars to go celebrate the wins here. But yeah, that's right. 2 Cowpokes winning the 1,500 meters there, with Sinclair Johnson taking the women's as well.
And both in dominant fashion, Jeff.
Dominant.
I mean, we expected fireworks from both of those races, and they delivered absolutely. 4:01 for Sinclair, 3:33 for Faud. I mean, what more do you want of a night of track and field?
From the 800s to the 5,000s to the 1,500s, the hot window delivered.
Steeplechases last night.
Steeplechases, of course, in the 10,000 meters that we were treated to afterwards. Amazing performances all around and throughout the day. Once again, a fantastic Portland Track Festival. And we just want to thank everybody for tuning in, everybody coming in to bring the energy into this stadium and the electricity, light it up. And to all the partners that help this make this happen. It takes the city to make something like this happen. And we truly believe that getting behind events like this, evergreen events, and having them take hold in the United States, that's how you grow the sport and build a heritage and a history, and something that we can all look forward to from year to year. So we'll be here next year, and we'll be here 20 years from now and 50 years from now. And maybe we'll be in the booth. Who knows? Maybe we'll have passed on the reins then. 1,000 years from now, you will still be able to watch the Portland Track Festival.
And don't forget to spay and neuter your pets, you know?
Thank you.
Just be good people.
Yeah.
That's what this event is put on by good people. It's attended by good people. And the people who come here and race are good people. So just be a good person.
And there's all the good people there, the crew, the Trackland production crew. There's us. Hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in from around the world, from over 100 countries.
At probably 200 at this point. This is global.
Once again, thank you to Bandit Running for giving us this free live stream to view from around the world. And that's it for us tonight. We will see you in 2026 in the Electric Forest. Where are we going to eat?
Wherever's still serving food.
All right. Let's go to one of those fine Portland dining establishments.
One of those fine Portland dining establishments. Maybe a cold, frosty beer.
Book your tickets now for 2026 here in the Portland Track Festival. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.